Hey, what is up YouTube? This is the TimeWizard here. Today I got a Blue Eyes Dragon Ruler deck profile for the January format. I was asked to do a profile of this a while ago, and I made up the deck profile and I just never got around to posting it. But I revisited it lately, realizing that I hadn't posted it, and I did a revision of it because some of my card choices I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I redid it and this is what I've come up with. So I apologize for it not being out sooner. It just escaped my mind completely. Someone actually suggested this, and I'm very sorry that I didn't fulfill that in the time I think I promised. But here's the profile nonetheless. So here we go. Triple Blue Eyes, one Flame Veil Guard, one Blaster, Debris Dragon, Koreska, Triple Tree Dragon, and his partner in crime, Triple Water Dragon, one Red Eyes Darkness Metal, one Redux, one Tempest, triple Whitestone Legend, and one Title. For the spell lineup, you got one Book of Moon, three cards to Consonants, two Dragon Shrine, one Gold Sark, two Mystical Space Typhoon, triple Trade-In, and then for the traps, Compulse, triple Reckless Greed, one Warning, one Torrential, and two Trap Stun. So I'll quickly explain some of my choices for the main deck before I get into the extra deck, because that's not really too much of importance. It really hasn't changed all that much. We just added a couple rank 8s. So I chose to run the three Blue Eyes because, of course, it's not a Blue Eyes Dragon Ruler deck without your Blue Eyes. I've seen some people play this set too. I have no freaking idea why. You want to max this card out. You got triple Whitestone of Legend and you got trade-ins. You want to abuse this guy. For the most part, if you're going to use trade-in, you're going to want to use it on him. You don't want to really use it on your Mythic Water Dragon because he's a little more useful in the deck because of your Tree Dragon and whatnot. So for the most part, you're going to always want to trade him in. He's just there to run the engine, pretty much. The Flame Veil Guard, of course, for Blaster if he gets banished. One of each of the Dragon Rulers because that's what they're at now. The Three Dragon, surprising enough, one is still very good. Just an amazing card. It just sets up your extra deck plays very nicely. And also it can be searched by Tempest if he gets banished as well. And the other searching card for Tempest is Koreska. And of course the new addition, we got the Tree in the Water. These cards are just amazing how they can set you up with a rank 8 play. It's really fantastic. Something to also mention that I did not know, I actually saw some guy at my locals a while back do this. He brought out his Scrap Dragon, and take note that Scrap Dragon is an earth-based monster. You can actually bring out your Water Dragon, and then really if you wanted to, you could use Scrap Dragon overlay with Water and go for rank 8 or something. But for the most part, most people want to save their Scrap Dragon because just the ability to pop is so good. But that is definitely an option, which I thought was pretty interesting. Same goes with a Tree Dragon here. If you have Tempest out, you can change Tree Dragon to level 7 and make some rank 7 plays, make your Draco Sack, Big Eye, whatever you need to fit the bill. So I thought that was pretty fantastic that you could do that. The one Red Eyes Darkness Metal, some people are on board with this, some are not. It's pretty much on the fence. I just like him because he gets you everything back from your graveyard that you need. He just will set you up with what you need all the time. And so if you banish like a Dragon Ruler, at least you'll plus off the Dragon Ruler. So he works out very nicely. He keeps the feed coming in as long as you can somewhat protect him. So I already talked about the Dragon Rulers and the Whitestones of Legends. That's obvious. You got the cards of Consonant. Keep in mind though, you also, if you need to, you have your Flame Veil Guard, your Debris, and your Koreska if this happens to come in hand. So you got 6 targets for. Same thing with the trade-in. So it's just obvious to play this at 3. Let's see. Cards Constant, talked about that. Dragon Shrine. I find this card to be very nice for this deck. Pitch a normal, and then you get to send another dragon. So this sets up your graveyard. Some people say this really takes the place of Ravine. I guess so, to a degree. The nice thing about Ravine, though, is if they didn't get rid of it, you could just abuse it over and over again. This, it's a sort of a one-shot, once per turn sort of thing. So I like it. It does its job nicely. Send the Blue Eyes or whatever and start getting your graveyard set up for those plays. The one gold Sark, you gotta play it now. It just gets you everything you need. Usually you want to banish like Blaster or Title. In case you really need to pop something with Blaster, you get him searched out, get the Flameveil Guard. So you have that play ready if you really need to. But more or less, you're really going to go for Redox or Title to get your tree and your water. One or the other so you can set up for the first turn Failground play. Uh, Double space. I really wish I could play 3. I guess you could bump it up, make it a 41 card deck, but I don't think it's needed. Although this format is really calling for 3, but you could always side in another one. And then I talked about the trade-in. The staples, don't need to talk about that. I opted to play Reckless Greed over Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin is nice. It does make your deck a lot thinner by 3 cards, but I don't know, Reckless Greed, being able to stack it and just get so many cards is very nice. I don't know, it's just personal preference. You can do what you want. Take these out for upstarts if you really wanted to. But setting back row, it makes your opponent think a little bit. I've seen some decks try and fit more traps in here, almost up to like 13. I thought that was pretty interesting, but I think up 3 Reckless Greed just fits the bill right. And then the 2 trap stun, because this card is just amazing, this format. It just puts in work for you. Quick note, I did want to try and put in Burial from a different dimension to get back some of your banished dragons, but I don't know, it just didn't quite fit in. I didn't have room for it. I didn't think it was ultimately needed at the end of the day. And the same thing goes for DDR. It'd be cool if you had it in there, but it just wasn't needed, so we'll toss those away. So on to the extra deck, like I said, nothing really changed much, but we got Colossal Fighter, Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, Spark, Thought Ruler, and of course your Star Eater for the Synchros. For the XYZs, we got Queen Dragon Djinn. Really, how this is going to be made is if you go for Debris and then go for your tree. It's great if you can get this card out. It's crazy how this card has bumped up in price because of the Heradic deck, but if you can make this, all the more power to you. And then for the rank 7s, we got 1 Master of Blades. I threw him in here. I don't know. I like to have options. You could easily make this another Draco Sack if you need to, but you really don't go into rank 7s all that much in this deck. Speaking of which, Draco Sack himself and your big guy. Onto the rank 8s, which you are more likely less to make. 2 Felgran. The deck demands it, really. This card, your opponent has to kill the resources on it so much, it just puts in work for you. And then 1 Heliopolis. This card is so amazing because you can send stuff to the graveyard and then destroy that many equal cards on the field. So if you really are afraid of your opponent's back row, this is a great way to get rid of it. And then personal tech, I guess, 1 Tachyon Dragon. Pretty expensive card though. Some people would probably opt to run maybe another Heliopolis or something else, I guess. I've seen even Giant Puppet of Grinder. It's a pretty interesting card. Check it out. But I like this guy instead. So that's it for the deck profile, guys. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Although I don't think I will ever play this deck or run it. Just it was on request that I made this deck. I really am done with dragons. I think they ought to be dead, but some people are still pushing for them, so here it is. So anyway, guys, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and I will see you next time.